Moffat's team as exec last year. He's here with me now. Brian Minchin, hello, good afternoon to you. Welcome to BBC Radio Wales. How are you?
I'm very excited. I thought this day would be good, but I had no idea it would be quite as amazing as this. The crowd outside, the reaction, it's just fantastic for us.
You must be so excited because all these people have come out to see your product. This is what it's about.
I know, and we've been working away in Lock in Cardiff Bay, filming this since January, and this is the day we get to show it to the world, and I'm really pleased it's in Cardiff. Cardiff's a big supporter of this show, and we're loving to have a chance to meet everyone.
You know what's amazing going out there, and I've just been talking to a few fans, and I don't know if you've heard any of the show, but I've just been talking to a couple who had a Doctor Who themed wedding. They're from the United States of America. They've come to Cardiff for their honeymoon to be part of this. They were standing next to a woman who's travelled from Melbourne, Australia. Are these the sort of stories that you hear about the fascination with Doctor Who?
I hear that kind of thing all the time. I was getting texts this morning at 7 a.m. people from California, and this is a show that started 9 years ago, being made in Cardiff, and it genuinely goes out to the whole world, and people come to Cardiff because they know about Doctor Who.
Let's go back 9 years, right? So BBC Wales decide to resurrect Doctor Who.
Yeah.
At that point, are you like the rest of the people, apart from the people in that room at that time who thought, this is a bonkers, balmy idea, it'll never work?
I have to admit that I had my doubts. I wasn't working on the show at the time or in BBC, and I heard it was coming back, and they kept it very quiet what they were going to do with it, and I had no idea what Russell was going to do, but what his reinvention was so spectacular. He kept the heart of the show but made it so relevant and so stunning. And Stephen and all these other writers came along on that first series, and I think they showed everyone what this little old show could do, because people had forgotten about it. It seems bizarre now, but Doctor Who was off air for 15 years.
It's amazing, isn't it?
I'm seeing out now there's 6-year-olds dressed as Daleks and Cybermen, there's people coming from California to see us, yet it was off air for so long.
And yet it was such a big television hit. You know, when I was a kid, so I used to watch Grandstand because I was a bit of a sports fan, and Grandstand then used to go into the classified football results, and then Doctor Who came on. Now, to think of life, television life without Doctor Who seems very strange and very weird.
Well, I'm glad you're saying that.
What did we do in that time? What did we do? What was going on Saturday evening? We didn't have Doctor Who. What was going on?
Doctor Who fans would say they were dark days.
No Edmonds.
We replaced Doctor Who for Mr. Blobby.
And now Doctor Who is back and here to stay. So, Peter Capaldi, talk to me about Peter. What's he like?
Peter Capaldi is amazing to work with. He is a huge fan of the show. He brings a lot of love with him, a lot of respect. As an actor, he's extraordinary. He can do anything. He's going to be a very different Doctor. He's going to be unpredictable. In about an hour's time, people are going to get to see that for the first time. But it's a joy to work with someone who's got such passion for the show, and he cares as much about it as everyone else, as everyone out there today.
What's he like as the Doctor? Is he very different to any other Doctor that we've seen?
I think so, yeah. He brings his own element to him. You know, when we first met him, he said, you know, if he did this role, he can bring the Doctor to him. And I think, you know, you see a lot of Peter. He's still the Doctor. He's still this amazing alien. He's still the cleverest man in the room. He's still the funniest person to be with. But this is kind of a Doctor who's a bit more unpredictable. He's a Doctor who doesn't always care about people's feelings as much as others, which is really funny sometimes, as much as it's shocking. And ultimately, he is always going to do the right thing, everyone. But he goes on a slightly different journey to get there.
What about that chemistry then, Brian? Have you had to work on the chemistry between Peter and Jenna, or was it just there as soon as they met?
As soon as they met, we could see it was working, and one of the most exciting things about this series
because it doesn't always work, does it? Being honest now,
it doesn't always work.
It's a tricky question, and I know you'll probably kick me in the shins for asking this question. But you know, being a presenter myself, I know that so much of what we do on screen relies on the chemistry between whether you're a TV presenter like I am, and I've got pundits in the studio.
Yeah.
What the viewers get at home relies very much on the natural chemistry between presenter and pundits. Same for actors.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely true. We had and it's right. You always have an idea of what you hope to get out of two actors and two roles, and you get it excited. But until you're there on the floor with the lines and the cameras rolling, you don't quite know what you're going to get. But they've gelled absolutely. I'm sure Jenna and Peter will say the same.
Well, she did. She said earlier on that it's been a joy to work with.
They're quite different because with Matt and David's Doctor were both kind of lovable and you could take them home to meet your family and they charm everyone. But Peter's Doctor is a bit different like that. He's a bit more in the mode of like a Tom Baker type Doctor. Like that. And so Jenna is kind of the human side of him. She's the one who has got to set him straight, has got to...
So Peter, it's very businesslike.
I wouldn't say businesslike, he's still really funny, but he won't necessarily care about the feelings of the people around him.
Okay.
In a funny way. I'm not saying he's a rude man. But Jenna, I think they have the best time working together, and you see them hanging out between takes, rehearsing, running lines.
We'll get on to villains. We'll get on to talk about explosions and that sort of thing in just a moment, Brian. But what difference do you think that Stephen Moffat has made to the show?
I think Stephen is just one of the most brilliant writers we have, and I think across Sherlock and Doctor Who, he's just got endless imagination. And I think, like Peter, he's always been a fan of the show. He's always dug deep into it. I think he's loved working with Peter. He's seen it as a new challenge, a slightly different way of telling Doctor Who stories. But I think Stephen's a very funny man. He's a very clever man, and I think that's what he makes Doctor Who really funny and clever and terrific. Scary.
Also, look, there's a little lad there dressed up as Dalek. This is great. That's a great costume. Hello, young man. Hello, what's his name? Give him a shout out on live radio. Alex, dressed up as a Dalek. That's lovely. We've got a couple of young fans here as well. These guys are big fans of Doctor Who. I know them very well because they're my children. Hey. Anyway, they're big fans of Doctor Who, but also what they love being scared. Not just these kids, but also all the other kids who love Doctor Who. Are they going to get scared in this next series?
They're going to get scared. Episode 1 is scary. Episode 2 is even scarier.
But such parents who have to deal with that.
It's fine, but that's why, watching it, look at them, they're happy. They're looking
they're
forward
very happy
to
about being scared.
And, we love scaring kids on this show.
Yeah. And also the humour. Stephen Moffat earlier was talking about the funny lines, and that's important, isn't it? Because it's a family show.
Yeah. It's funny, and also life's funny. In the middle of disasters and stuff, people are always making jokes and laughing. And
big explosions?
Lots of big explosions. Episode 2, we've got a big Dalek episode, and we've really gone to town with, we blew up large parts of South Wales.
Superb. He says we blew up large parts of South Wales. Superb. Brian, just before you go, because I know you're a busy boy and I know you want to go and get your seat, just one final question on Wales and the role of Wales in Doctor Who, because we're remarkably proud at BBC Cymru Wales that it's made by BBC Wales, but we're getting people coming from all over the world to visit Wales, which is where Doctor Who is filmed. I mean, just how important is that?
I think it's really important to us that we film and work in Wales. It's always been a great place to make Doctor Who. We've made different parts of history and future and alien planets all within half an hour of Cardiff, and it's a great place for us. Everyone has always been very good to us about letting us take over city centres or close things down. And I also think the actors and the crews love coming here. They know Doctor Who is made here and Cardiff is its home, and I think we're our own little world, and it's good, if you come to our studios, everyone there is excited about making Doctor Who. They're excited about being in Cardiff, and I think it's utterly integral.
Hey, listen, Brian, thank you very much indeed. It's really lovely to see you. I know you're a busy boy, and I know you've got to go and make sure that everyone's in place.
Thank you very much.
I'm delighted for you as well, because I've seen you around Broadcasting House many years, and now you are the exec producer of Doctor Who. I'm delighted for you.
I'm very pleased. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed, sir. That's Brian Minchin, ladies and gentlemen, who is the executive producer of Doctor Who. Peter Capaldi coming up live on this programme in a few minutes.